So it's Wednesday again. I've got the dreaded hard interval session, and today I've got 5 times 4 minutes hard effort, like I just said. And I couldn't do it on the hills like I did last week because obviously the intervals are double the size, so instead of 2 minutes they're 4 minutes. And last week I was running out of hill. I've tried to do intervals before around by my house and it just don't work. It's too busy, you have to stop at traffic lights, all of that rubbish stuff. It's just too busy, especially at this time of day. So I've had to drive like 15 minutes down the road where there's some nicer roads. They're still a little bit busy, but a lot less busy, so it's easier. This is why I seriously need to get myself an indoor trainer and become a Zwift merchant, because I can't keep doing this, especially after work. Like, so I'll rush home after work and they should basically rush out traffic. I'm about to come into my first rep and I'm kind of not looking forward to it, if I'm being totally honest. 4 minutes is a long time when you're pedalling pretty much as hard as you can. I think I'll keep my heart rate about 165 maybe for the first rep like that. I'll pick it back up after I've done this first rep. Woof. It's safe to say that my legs ain't recovered from Sunday yet. I've never had to deal with any type of session on a Sunday before, and I'll tell you something, last Sunday's session, 25k threshold, that session took it out of me. I can still feel it today, but I feel good today. I've done the first rep and I feel, yeah, can't wait for the next one already, and that very rarely happens. Rep number 2 done. That road was a bit bumpy then to have only one hand on the bars. Woo. Alright, 172. And I'm going to start getting used to these. Being on the drops, I think it's cool. Let's go. Oh, my legs fucking burning. Ah. Oh yeah, that one got me. Rep number 4 done. 1 to go. Enough talking. Oh. Oh, you joking? So I've just done a whole bit then, and the camera wasn't even on. I think I pressed the fluff covering the mic instead of the on button. But I just said, I don't know if that guy pulling out on me then spurred me on a little bit. Well, he didn't really pull out on me, but just pulled out and then went really slow. But he kind of spurred me on to push for that last rep, and I did. I stuck by him, to be fair, and I'm quite proud of that. I don't know if he was going mega slow or I was going mega quick. I'm only joking, I'll give myself a yick sometimes. But yeah, overall 5 wicked reps. I'm thoroughly impressed with that session and happy with how it went. Felt good the whole way through it. Don't get me wrong, I had my ups and downs because my legs were burning. Yeah, I don't think that session could have gone any better if I tried. I ain't felt like this since I've done like a running session years ago when I had 2 working knees. I think I averaged about 26k an hour for over about 22k. That's made me more, not enthusiastic, but more excited. Like I said, more excited to do this race now because I'm getting them numbers without trying to get them numbers specifically.
Thoughts are wandering away with me today, fading into grey. say that it's okay. Painting pictures of this silhouette in vain. Just here to speculate. No fear, I test my fate, no.
Lately I've been studying Ibrahim Traore. What it takes to make change, blood and tears that they assure me. Stripes and gun range, bodyguards at every doorway. Civil rights to sustain as peace over Wahala. If we had to fight, we had to die. That's why we ain't seen another Thomas Sankara. Who are you when you can change all the fortunes of your people? I'm tired too, I used to blame Western forces of evil. I'm tired too, I'm choosing pain and let my hatred try to greet you. I'm asking, can I really flex? Forget the poverty we've been through. Puppets in our section, check the strings above, you know it's lethal. And am I still collecting? I'll try to protect my own peace and breeze through.
And today I'm going to play around with the camera settings a little bit because, to be honest, I've never really done that myself. Like, I've looked at YouTube videos and tutorials and things like that, and I might include, well, I probably will include like side-by-side comparisons. So that is going to be on today's agenda for my 45k long ride. I feel like a bit of a fraud calling it a long ride because people probably, well, definitely do triple the distance as an easy long ride, but you know, everybody's got to start somewhere. And I am only training for a 60k race, so I think it would be a little bit overkill, maybe the word that springs to mind, if I was trying to do 120 odd k. So should take me about 2 hours or something like that. So this is where I'm going to start all the different testing now. So this is my normal settings: 4k, 24 frames per second, wide angle. I know what these are anyway because I use them all the time. So I just want to include little bits of voiceovers here to explain the points I'm going through. Now the only difference is I've changed the view from wide angle to super view. Let's have a look. I just don't know if having it on this view like distorts the edges of the picture, but this is what I'm doing all this testing for. Oh, look at this weather, man. I haven't had rain on a ride in ages. Now this is one thing I've never ever tested ever. I've turned the bit rate up to high. Now apparently it uses a lot more memory, but that must mean that the colours are better or the image is better, because surely to God, if it uses a lot more memory, then the picture's got to be better, because otherwise what's the point? So we'll test that out. Let's have a go. Going from a normal bit rate to a high bit rate changes the file size quite drastically. So on normal bit rate, 2 minutes of video was 743 megabytes, whereas high bit rate 2 minute video was 1.5 gig. So it's basically double the file size. Is it worth it? I'd like to somehow be able to get the pictures like side by side of the same thing, same part of the road, but one, that's going to take me a lot longer because I'll have to keep turning round. And now it's started raining. I don't really fancy doing that, to be honest, so I'll do my best on screen to just give the best comparison. I know it's not the same road, but oh well. Apparently as well, I've seen online that when you use the high bit rate, it's better for taking still shots at your video. So like, if I want to get a thumbnail out of this now, which I'll try, then it's better to pause the video and have a nice clean image from there. So let's have a go. I've turned the bit right back down to low, or not high, whatever. And I've turned the sharpness up to high. So we'll have a look at this image. I should have done this when I first started making videos. I don't know why I've waited until now. When I changed the settings to high sharpness, I noticed a bit of noise in my image. Now, I don't know if that's been there the whole time, but as you can see here, I've highlighted it in a box, and then I've also zoomed in to show you. I don't know if this is going to make the video look a bit too bitty, because it's trying to capture too much sharpness. But there's only one way to find out. Now the sharpness is on low, so I don't know if the image will be like a bit blurry now, and the edges will be shit. So now I've gone back to my normal settings again, what I always use, just apart from using super view this time. Oh, apologies about me being out of breath. Fucking hell, look at this. But I've changed the colour profile to flat. Now, I don't know if that's similar to RAW on like the posh cameras and the fancy action cameras and the newer ones and that. But it says it captures the video with a flat colour profile. Now I think that might mean if/when I colour grade it, it'll be able to look a lot nicer. So we'll have a go. This one will have to be done on my laptop. You'll see a lot of a difference now, I think, because everything will be a bit pale and a bit shit colours. Whoa, I'm just dying up myself. So this one will have to be sorted out when I get back home on my laptop. When I changed it to a flat profile, it allows you to do a lot more with the image, but it requires you to know how to colour grade. You can see here that I ain't the best at colour grading. Well, and after this I did test a few more things like stabilisation. This was when it was turned off, and even like pedalling normally without bumps in the road, it was quite bad and jittery. And I couldn't tell the difference between normal and boost. And trust me, I did a few more tests about wind and things like that, and definitely want some wind reduction going on. You can literally buy horse shit for 50p a bag. That's just caught me off guard, that has. Well, it said horse manure. That's mad. I know people use it as fertilisers though. So, maybe. Might be cow shit. I don't know. Now, I ain't gonna get this descent on here again because you've seen it 3, 4, maybe 5 times. You'll have to go and watch one of my other videos to see that. But I am going to see how fast I can get down here. It's like tradition. So let's have a go. I think my fastest up until now is 60k an hour. So I've got some decent speed to beat. Maybe not. Turns out it's going to be the most leisurely ride I've ever had down here. Uh-oh. I spoke too soon. Fucking fat pothole. I think I was following that car a bit too close behind. Oh well. Can't see any dents in my rim. Right then, let's get this sorted. Doing this at the wrong angle could look a bit funny. Got a bloke walking towards me now with his 2 dogs. Right mate?
Yeah, all good my friend. Go on, Stanley.
Right, there's my first ever puncture, done and repaired, hopefully. Hopefully my back wheel's in properly, and you should see the state of my hands. Look at that! Guy Martin to be proud of that. Need to get a new chair, man. So, I've just been for a long soak in the bath after today's ride. I'm just sick of the wind, man. And honestly, riding into a headwind is... it's brutal, man. Like, running, it doesn't affect you half as much, and I always refer back to running. I'm not no professional runner. I haven't like ran 16 marathons and ran under 3 hours. I've ran 2 marathons, that's it. But I've also never rode with somebody else, so I don't know how much of a difference riding on somebody's wheel makes. So that's going to be a new thing for me to experience on the race day. Don't really know what else to say after after today's ride. So it's Sunday. I've got my threshold session again. Don't know why the ChatGPT decided to put these on Sunday for, but I'm going to get it done either way. And today I've got 30k, with the middle 15k being at roughly race pace, which is, it says 27 to 28 kilometers per hour roughly, but I want to try and get it done at 30. I might try and get for 28 kilometers an hour. It's only 15k, I should be able to do it. I'm quietly confident, I'll be honest, but after last Sunday's session, that what's the best way to put this, that slapped me in the face real quick. I'm doing 7.5k warm up, and then I'm going to do the 15k, and then 7.5k cool down. Just try to pedal then, and my gearing is totally off, like that. I'm also trying out these new settings, because I quite enjoyed yesterday, and I've started editing it already. So I'm kind of finding out what are the best settings to use, and it's quite surprising. Like, things I've never even tried before turn out to look a little bit better. So hopefully this part of the video looks a little bit nicer than my normal videos do. 3, 2, 1, go. There we go. 15k at roughly 28 kilometers an hour. Let's see how this one pans out. Look at the flags. I'm not doing it to show you the flags, I'm showing you the wind once again. It's not too bad at the minute, like, it's not giving me a headwind, but it's just so windy. I hope you can hear it on here. I never knew how much I fucking hated wind until I went to Creamfields that one year, and until I brought this bike. I genuinely don't know how I'm going to do this. 4.5k in, I'm averaging 27.5 kilometers an hour. It's these open bits when I've got no trees, bushes. My legs are on fire from yesterday as well. I'm going to have to make some time up on these downhills. When I finished most hard rides, about half an hour after, I think, nah, it weren't that bad. Could have pushed a little bit harder. I'm thinking about that now in this ride. I ain't gonna let that be a thing after today's. I've got 2.5k left. It's gonna be a serious dig now. Fucking scared me to death. I'm just trying to stay like as aero as possible and keep out the wind, because it's absolutely battering me again. Surprisingly enough, my legs feel the freshest now that they have the old ride. Don't know why. I'm just trying to keep you on that wall there. Look at me, some serious ducking going on here. 100 metres left. My average is 28.4, so it's safe to say I'm in. To be honest, I surprised myself at the end now. I found a bit, and I don't know where it come from, but I ain't gonna be asking any questions. There we go. 28.4 kilometers an hour on my own, and in terribly windy conditions again. You might think I'm just being a big absolute pussy, which is fair enough, but I'm sure this has got to be like a Storm Dave or something like that. And I wanted to do Ironman Wales on the coast. I think I've got a big shock coming. So I've just got up now, and that's me done for this week. And one thing I am going to try and do. So what I was trying to say here was basically, when I'm talking to a camera from now on, I want to try and do it in one take, where that may seem that it adds a lot of pressure to it, but in a weird kind of way I feel like it takes away some pressure, because I feel like I've got no chance to do it again and make it a little bit better. If I fuck up a few times, just include them, you know, or just cut it out a little bit, instead of keep trying to do it again and make it better and better. But funnily enough, I said all this about doing one take, and then my car decides to rudely interrupt me, so I've had to do it again. If you've enjoyed this video, just leave me a like. It's the least you can do, I suppose. If you want to subscribe, go for it, and maybe drop a comment if you think I'm doing something half decently or doing something absolutely terribly.